You never quite know how a day on the water's going to fare, just like the 25 crew members who were on board the crude oil tanker Gloria Maris found out just about a week ago when it wound up having a run-in with one of the world's largest container ships. The vessel, the HMM St. Petersburg, with its 24 crew members on board, wound up colliding with the Gloria Maris near the Straits of Gibraltar. At this time, it has not been determined the actual cause of the incident, but as seen in these images here, the Gloria Maris definitely suffered some damage, just like some of the things we'll see in this week's episode of Boating News of the Week. Our first story to make the boating news this week is going to bring us over to Merritt Island, Florida, where this was the scene shortly following the Merritt Island boating parade. Here we can see one of the people who was apparently registered in the parade having a little fun in one of the canals as they take one of their jet cars, wind up spinning around, trying to have a good time and spread a little holiday cheer. But unfortunately for this crew and another crew who was involved in the parade, they wind up spreading that holiday cheer just a little too far, as they wind up getting this one a little out of control and unfortunately wind up colliding with another boat that apparently was in the Merritt Island boat parade as well. Here we're going to see they wind up getting on the throttle a little bit, getting a little throttle happy, and the next thing they know, they're out of control and wind up colliding with the boat seen in the images here. Now, unfortunately in this situation, 3 people were injured and carried to emergency services, but it does appear that everybody's going to be okay and nobody's got any life-threatening injuries. But here we can see the aftermath after the boat and the jet car wound up colliding, and you can see the damage to the boat here. There's been conflicting stories. The Merritt Island Parade claims that the jet car we see in the images here was not actually a registered parade participant, but the police reports from the scene claim the opposite, as both boaters were interviewed and they claim that both boaters claimed to be registered participants in the parade. An investigation has been launched, and at this time no charges have been filed toward either boater, but just serve this one as a reminder: if you're getting out there enjoying the holidays, having a little fun in the water, always stay in control of your vessel. There's no reason to go out there and try and showboat. Bad things can happen. Our next story to make the boating news this week is going to bring us over to Australia, where this was the scene just about a week ago when 2 men narrowly escaped a burning luxury yacht that caught on fire approximately a half-mile off the coast of Cottesloe Beach. The Department of Fire and Emergency Services, Marine Rescue, and Water Police were all alerted to the situation and dispatched to the scene. The 2 men who were on board the vessel wound up evacuating in a dinghy before the vessel completely became engulfed in flames. The local police arrived in a vessel and wound up rescuing the 2 men and bringing them back to shore. At this time, an investigation has been launched to try and determine the cause of the incident. The 2 men who were on board the vessel do claim the fire started in the engine bay, but at this time, the cause is undetermined. It didn't take long, close to an hour, and the vessel looked like this, burned all the way down to the waterline. The vessel is believed to be a total loss. Local authorities have closed the 2 local beaches near the incident due to a possibility of a fuel spill and debris washing on shore. But this wasn't the only emergency boat fire we witnessed this past week, as our next story is going to bring us back stateside and take us over to Seattle, where this was the scene just a few days ago when a 40-foot boat in Seattle's Elliott Bay went up in flames. Crews from the Seattle Fire Department and the U.S. Coast Guard both responded to the boat fire. There was one person on board the vessel at the time of the incident. He wound up having to jump overboard once the flames started to engulf the vessel. Fortunately, in this situation, there were several Good Samaritan vessels in the area at the time of the incident, including the Seattle Ferry seen in the background here. Local officials claim the boater was able to be successfully rescued by a Good Samaritan vessel, pulled out of the water completely uninjured. Local fire crews did try and fight the blaze, but unfortunately, due to safety concerns, were unable to get it put out, but they did tow the vessel to shallower water in case it sinks. It would be easier to recover. Thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boating News of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here, just like Troy Leach and Kevin McGuire did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button. If not, we're coming to steal your drain plug.